All right, I'm Dr. Gordon Adomja from Ashesi University. I teach an entrepreneurship program there, and I'm also the lead for the Ashesi Design Lab, which is one of the organizers of the Blockchain Hackathon 2018. We're doing this together with the Blockchain Society Ghana, with Kumasi Hive, with Devless, and the Ministry of Trade. We'll leave it at that. We'll do introductions. So, or maybe I should say a little bit more. So the Blockchain Hackathon is basically to throw light on blockchain applications beyond Bitcoin, right? So the application here is to see how blockchain can be used in a supply chain space. So we're leveraging on a system that's being built by the Ministry of Trade, a supplier exchange platform that is going to connect SMEs and large buyers. So for instance, think of Guinness Ghana wanting to buy tons of cassava or starch from smallholder farmers in Ghana. That's a really tough thing to do, right? Because you need to first find the supply, and then you need to make sure that it's sustainable. If you want 3 tons in 2 years, that you are going to get it, right? That is tough. So most times what these large companies do is just import it from somewhere else, right? So the question is, can you build a supply chain system that allows you to manage smallholder farmers, manage the distribution of produce and supply, so that it is more efficient to put resources together, it's more efficient to put players together to ensure supply and to also sustain supply, right? If we can do this, then we can do a lot more sourcing locally, because the system works. And our systems, we can do a lot more sourcing locally because there's efficiency in the system. So the real question is, how can you use blockchain for this stuff? Not just for Bitcoin trading. So one way to think about this project is to think of it as purely academic, right? And we're saying, how can we have the talent represented here, build cool applications that do this and do this well? Or if you want to go beyond academic, look at after the hackathon, 2-3 months after the hackathon, with whatever you've built being applied to maybe not only the supply chain projects that the Ministry of Trade is building, but other industries around you, for ID verification, for supply optimization, for whatever else that a blockchain system can do, for payment authentication, whatever, right? So take this opportunity, right, as a motivation to build something and build something cool.
My name is Ernest Apom from KNUST, and I feel this project is a pace setter that would proliferate blockchain technology in Ghana, because there's none so far in this country. I feel it's something that is so secure that to be very good if it's implemented in Ghana.
Hello, my name is Cecil. I work for eCampus. I'm the co-founder of the Blockchain Society Ghana. I'm here because I feel it's about time we do crazy stuff here in Accra. I'm passionate about blockchain technology, but then I am still not happy that everything blockchain is foreign. I believe we have basic problems here we can solve. I'm more interested because when any team here is able to fix this, then that means I'm going to have to, borrow your time and expertise to do other stuff that we need to use blockchain to do. So I'm here headhunting. So you guys do something so I can pick somebody to help me fix my other blockchain problems.
Hi guys, my name is Ash. I've been working in IT for the past 10 years or so. Currently I'm working in cybersecurity and information security here in Ghana. I'm interested in pretty much anything to do with IT. I think it's a very good incentive. I've seen the videos online myself briefly, and it'd be great to put some brains together, some talents together, and get something done on blockchain. I think there's a much better use to blockchain than just cryptocurrency and Ethereum and Bitcoin and whatnot. And I think it can be done. I've seen it done elsewhere, and I think it can be done here in Ghana as well. It just takes some planning and takes some patience, and hopefully we get there. So I'm here to see if I can contribute to the movement as well.
Okay, hi. My name is Yofi Brown-Pobi. I'm the lead organizer for the hackathon. Hi. So all this to me represents operational efficiency in terms of the country. So all this noise and all different components is just the system is being more efficient. So like I'll explain, you see that with applying blockchain to supply chain, even though blockchain is novel technology, going forward in the future, you can find that Africa is not left behind in something. So that's really all my interest is in, because this represents operational efficiency for the country in many ways. So I'm going to talk through how the system they are trying to create works, and to give us a scope of the entire what they are envisioning for the system and what should be able to happen should the system come about. And our task at the hackathon is to create solutions for individual parts of what I explained, right? So let's say you're a LSC called Zobolo Fruit International. You make Zobolo. Zobolo is actually Sobolo, but we say it's supposed to be Zobolo, but we are wrong. It's not Sobolo. So you make Zobolo, and there are some people who like Sobolo in the country. So this is what they want: an astringent Zobolo drink with mild ginger flavor. They want it to be tangy in their mouth. And you need hibiscus Zobolo, you need water, you need sugar, you need ginger, you need flavorings. So now, you can't go and get all these things yourself. It might take a lot of time and resources. So you outsource, you give the contract out to 5 different companies. So you give it to Genesis Hibiscus Zobolo, Ash Water, Bennis Sugar, Steven Ginger, and Ciso Flavorings. So you give it to all of them. To source the amount that you want. Now, before you source, you assess each of the companies. Can they meet the capacity I want? I want you to be able to bring 50 tons of sugar. Can you meet that capacity? All on the system. And they'll check what are your quality assurance techniques. You set requirements. So before I'll pick Bennis Water or Genesis Hibiscus Zobolo, your company must meet my requirements. And that's what the system should do. So that's where supply requirements comes in. So you put your requirements there, and you find to match you with someone who can do it, all on the system. Now, the blockchain application here is that all the information on the platform is trusted, is accurate. So you can't come and change. Genesis can't change his capacity just to get my contract. It will show me clearly that Genesis can do this. And if Genesis cannot supply, let's say 50 tons of hibiscus Zobolo, but with a little amount of money he can get the supply, there should be a way to factor in financial intermediaries on the platform. So if let's say Genesis can get me 30 tons, there should be a way to find a financial institution and say, okay, so if you give me this X amount of money, I can supply 20 more, fulfill the contract, pay your amount, and I get my part. All on the system, very, very efficient. So when you find all these people who meet your requirements of the quality and quantity of things you want, then you have your ingredients. Then you're able to make the Sobolo and serve your customers, right? And it's and other things spill into it. For instance, if you need someone to transport, let's say I have water, but I can't transport the water. I have the water, but I can't transport it to you. Then you can find a transport company with the capacity to take the water that you want to the supplier. So everything is more efficient. And the concept of smart contracts come in, where I'll tell Wayne that he should supply me with 50 bags of rice, or let me say sugar, and 50 bags of sugar. And he will agree. When he sends me the 50 bags, it will automatically send the payment to him. That's the blockchain part of smart contracts. So it will send the payment to me. If he does not send the 50 bags on time, then the payment will not move to him. Or if the bags, I send the payment first and he does not bring the bags, the payment will automatically refund. That's how the smart contract works. So it's a very, very efficient system that we're trying to apply blockchain to, so that going forward, 20 years, not even 20 years, 10 years, the system has a blockchain backbone and Africa is not left behind. So that is the gist of the system we're trying to create. And you find that there are many problems and things to fall under, like the transport, identifying users, matchmaking, creating requirements. There are a number of things under this main system that can be created for the hackathon. So under this big system, the different teams will be able to say that, okay, we want to tackle this part of the platform. We want to build something that will help match people accurately. We want to build something that will help track capacities accurately, because it's a very big system. So there are many things that you need to get. So that is the gist of the system. Any questions?
With the smart contracts, if you send the money to the supplier and the supplier doesn't send the goods to you, the money will automatically come back to you. So that means you'd have to, let's say, confirm that you've received the goods for the money to be released to the supplier. So what happens if you send the money and the supplier sends the goods and you don't confirm that you've received the goods? Then your money comes back to you. Now you have the money and the goods. How do you work through that?
That cannot happen. All right. See, that's why you're here. Those things cannot happen. That's mostly smart contracts have different ways of validating some of those things here. So, if it's a typical example like the Sobolo, so I've received the sugar, the track. Once I request for sugar, right, there will be a lot of people who are going to say, "Oh, I have this quantity of what sugar." Then somebody says, "Oh, I have a truck that can actually deliver this quantity of sugar to you." So already there are three people in the queue. The truck driver wants his money. The sugar guy wants his money, right? So once the sugar gets to the truck driver is not the final guy. The truck driver now is responsible for getting the sugar to me who need it at my factory. When it gets to my factory, you know how way bills work. Okay, so if you go to the ports in bigger organizations, even if you are taking a printer from one department to the other department, you need to sign a way bill to confirm that you've moved it from here to here. So once the production manager is receiving the sugar at the factory, they have to sign that way bill. Otherwise, the truck driver won't get his money. And he is there delivering the thing. I don't think he will not sign or let the operations guy sign or maybe tap the app if there's going to be an app end to it, so that it's delivered, the quality is accepted, the quantity is exactly what it says, and then he taps in. Then the process rolls back. So the truck company gets their money, then the sugar guy who sells it gets their money. Otherwise, the money stays within the chain until that confirmation is done. The money won't move on to the next level. I hope you understand what I mean, right? So it's like, let me put it in a way, the money will be locked in our system, right? It won't go to the final destination of the driver getting his money and the sugar guy getting his money until that confirmation is done. I hope you understand. So it just not automatically returns to you. It will return to you when the operations guy says, "This is not the quantity we requested for. This is not the quality we requested for. So we will not accept." Do you understand? We will not accept. But then the truck driver still needs to be paid because he used fuel. Do you understand? So these are the kind of things you're going to have to crack your brains and help us figure out. But in terms of the technology, blockchain, and the smart contract, the structures are there. Once you figure out your validations, right, then you put it in the structure. That should work. All right. So the payment bit is not a problem. It's already been solved, right? Uber figured it out. Momo figured it out. So that's not going to be a challenge. And what you also have to bear in mind is you're not trying to change how these people work completely. Otherwise, they will not use the system. So we're trying to improve how they work. So currently, if Kasapreko requests for a product, what process do they go through? You need to understand that first. Okay? Secondly, there will be no ways where you have to allow physical cash to exchange hands. No. So everything is going to happen within the system. What you need to start thinking of is there's going to be a back end and a front end to the system. You get what I mean? So there must be an interface where all the stakeholders interact with the system. So whether it's going to be an app or it's going to be a website, it's going to be a web application. We'll figure that one out. So if I'm a company and I'm on the platform, definitely I have to create an account. So in creating my account, you're going to get my bank details, you're going to get all those things, my card number, however. So anytime I raise a process and there's supposed to be payment, the system will take it from the account that I used to register my company. And if I'm a supplier and I register a supplier, I have to order those accounts, right? So just like Uber, right? You can load 3 different cards. Today I want to pay with this card. Tomorrow I want to pay with this card. And you know what happens? Once you request and you're paying with a card, your bank actually deducts the money even before the Uber gets there, right? But when you cancel, they reverse it. So those things have been done for us. We don't need to worry about that. So what you need to put in mind is there's going to definitely be an API integration of existing payment systems. So if you're going to integrate directly with the banking system, or you're going to go through a third party like ExpressPay, take their API, integrate, they've done all the Visa wahala for you. So that is not a challenge, okay? That shouldn't be a challenge, right? We good? Yeah, and we can always borrow code, don't worry.
My question is about the industries putting their requirements on the platform. And we know that there are a lot of competitions, and some industries have things to hide. And so if I'm supposed to put everything on the platform, then my competitor will be able to get what I'm doing. And then so how do you go about that too?
So if you look at some of our key partners in this project is the Association of Ghana Industries, right? The Ministry of Trade. So what they're trying to achieve is more of collaboration than competition. If I know that Joel there has the highest quality sugarcane for what I want to produce, right? And I know I am the only one who knows about this, so I always buy from Joel. How much can I buy from Joel? You get what I mean? But if Joel applies onto this system and puts the standards of his sugarcane, now everybody knows that Joel has this highest standard of sugarcane. How much more money do you think Joel will make? More people can reach him. You get my point? So don't think of the company who is demanding the product alone. Think of the suppliers. That small farmer, that small 3-4 boys came together and started their small business in maybe Boku. And they have the goods. They can't just sell. They are the people we are more concerned about. These big guys already import their sugar, and sugar came from maybe Indonesia already. So the guy we are really trying to help here is me and you, who can now be able to play with these big players just because there's transparency and we are able to meet the standards. So that shouldn't be a problem. Currently, I think AGI has agreed that once we start, we'll pair you with some of these big companies to go and understand their supply chain, how they do it now, so that we don't change it drastically or dramatically.
Please, I wanted to find out, should the industries or the LSEs provide the requirements for the SMEs to search through and try to see to meet to that requirement, or should the SMEs provide what they have, the quality of it, so that the LSEs can search through and decide to take what they need?
So it's good if it happens both ways. So you're going to have to figure out how we're going to make that happen both ways. Because once you know the supply chain of these big guys, right, they already have standards. I'm not sure they just buy any quality of sugar. They have standards that will make the Guinness taste this way. So once you understand, you spend out 1 month or 2 weeks with them and you understand their standards, it's easier to put that standard in the system so the SME goes and makes sure it's up to that standard. But there might be things that they don't have standards for, or they don't have much knowledge about, but the SME has knowledge about that. So then we get that from the SME. So it's going to be both ways, right?
I wanted to find out, since we are going to use the blockchain technology in this system, should the transaction ledger be open for everyone to see, or should just be a certain party, maybe the Ministry of Trade, to have access to it for surveys and auditing stuff?
So, like Doc said when we were at CTFM doing the interview, blockchain is just a database. So it depends on the level at which our stakeholders will be comfortable at deploying it. You can have the direct open one, which is like the way the Bitcoin one runs, very open. You can have private ones, right? And you can have in between. All right. So depending on the industry, maybe pharmaceutical industry, things are very sensitive there. So what it means is when they are registering, there will be a checkbox that says for their some class of information should be open. Some class should be private, with only these people to have rights and have no access to it. So it's gonna, all these things are gonna come up when you start engaging the actual users, right? But all I want you to know is that these things are not difficult. They're just like check boxes you tick away, right? How many of you have played around structured querying languages already? Like MySQL, MS SQL, PostgreSQL, normal database. Have you played around them before? Right? So blockchain is just like that. Just that it has different ways of querying and providing and storing data. Right? So don't see blockchain as a technology you have to learn so hard. No. It's just a platform. Figure out what you want to do, right? And you store your information in it. It's just like a storage, like a wardrobe where you hang your dress. Right? Depending on what dress you have and which part of the wardrobe you hang it. If it's a long one, you don't want to hang it where it's short, right? So you want to hang it long. So see blockchain like that. So if we are dealing with a pharmaceutical industry where things are sensitive, then we don't hang it where it's supposed to be open. It's not difficult at all. The most important is we getting the concept right, getting the idea perfected, and then doing all the cross checks to see whether this is what the policy says, this is what the standard says. Once we tick all of that, we just hang it things in the blockchain. So you can do it. Anymore?
I think when you were starting, you noted that we were focusing on those boys at Boko who are now starting their farm. So with this techie stuff, how would they accept it? Like, let's say, moving from going straight to the market to posting their stuff online, how would they see it?
So, see it this way. If, let's maintain this, the Sobolo, right? The Sobolo. They need ginger in it, all right? So, even me, I can go into the system and check, say, oh, Charlie, who needs something today? Let me try and demonstrate what the final thing might look like, right? So I am here. I'm just bored and I'm checking on the whatever name we'll finally give it, right? And I'm checking on it. And I'm like, oh, Charlie, before I check, something has like almost 5,000. You see how when you have like notification, they write 10. Something at 5,000. What is that? Ginger. Hey, people need ginger like that. I don't know anything about ginger, right? All I'll do is, okay, who are in the system that can supply? Oh, less than 20%. So the ginger they need, only 20% of the people in the system that can supply. So I pick my phone. I call my grandmother. I'm like, Charlie, that ginger thing, what's up? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, can you get me 20 people else? Oh, yeah, I know the chief, the queen of the market in Hohoe. Okay, then I'll arrange. I'll key them in the system. Make sure they also appear in the system. Now it says 80% available for supply, right? The same way I can call my other friend, Charlie, that your guy get the Abuso car match, so how much they rent the car? I want supply some things from Hohoe. Okay, give me his details. I register him too. Do you get where I'm coming from? So just any random guy can create that. You get what I mean? So if you want to compensate me for doing this, then in your design of the system, there should be something for what? Maybe those, how do we call it, finder's fee or something. So that if I facilitate some of these things, maybe I get 0.2% of the transaction money. So he encourages me to what? Make sure we get all people involved, right? I can count 100,000 people who have degrees and don't have jobs, and they can figure this out and put some money in their own pocket. So think of it that way. Not everybody will be comfortable with all these things, but some people do it anyways. They're on Twitter, Instagram every day buying credits. So why don't they come and facilitate some of this and get something small? So your creativity will have to factor in all these people. Okay? So it's good you are raising these things. More. Oh, madam. Doc, any question? Okay, if you have any more questions, just put it in the group on WhatsApp, right? But the fundamental of this is picture it as Uber. You're calling a car, right? So if I'm a big organization or even a small organization and I want sugar, all I need to do is to, whatever name we're going to give the final solution, is to go there and put it there, sugar, and to pop up. Oh, the closest person who can give you sugar is at Laboni, whatever school there. He has 15 tongues. Oh no, I want 42 tongues. Who's the closest again? Who's the closest again? They tick, 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 tick. But they also get notification. They are coming. If they can't supply themselves, the truck driver or the truck company that's registered gets a notification that you are the closest truck to Laboni school and you are supposed to go deliver 15 tons of sugar to Cecil at iSpace. Think of it that way. That's the final thing. This can be done on a normal database right now. But just so we have trust, transparency, and the data is not tampered with for forever and ever, that's why we are doing it on blockchain. That's the only difference. You get where I'm coming from? So that 40,000 years from now, if they're going through the records, they'll see that, Cecil requested for 15 tons of sugar at iSpace, and the delivery was done by the guy at Laboni School, and this truck company was the one who picked and come and delivered at this time, and it generated this amount of money. This amount of tax was created out of it, so that it's tracked. That's the only reason why we're using blockchain. All right, so think of the finance solution like that. It should be very easy. Even me, if I'm coming to do what? Birthday party, and I need what? I need banku, or I need condo, I need something. I should be able to just go there. The nearest person around me, supply. If it be Okada, I go take give, you will register, come. Because I've registered my card, everything, so the money is there, or my mobile money. Smooth like that. So picture it that way, okay?